another courageous thing that you've done is that you've spent all this time traveling the world, and something remarkable and powerful that I read about you was, when you were younger, you went to Israel and you met this woman named Jihan who had such a tremendous impact on you.
Yes.
And here's this woman, she has dreams and the desire to make a change, make an impact, help people speak up and do something with her life, but she feels that there's not enough opportunities there and she feels stuck. And yet there's countless women in America that are free to think, to imagine, to create. Literally what holds them back is their own lack of self-belief. And you mentioned something that the only place sometimes we're trapped in is our own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate further on that and how you broke free out of that and how other women can do the same?
Yes. Well, I need to give a little bit of context to Jihan. In the midst of all the self-doubt and the depression that I felt around my desire to get out there and to contribute and to give my voice and to speak up, and feeling I was continually like moving towards it and backing away, moving towards it and backing away, all the suffering that created. I found myself in Israel and then went to the West Bank and visited Jihan and her family. She has 14 brothers and sisters and was the sister of a man that I had fallen in love with, a Palestinian man.
Yeah.
And when she shared with me her deep desire was to go to a university outside of the West Bank so she could get a really amazing education in psychology, come back and help her people with the intensity of the anger,
right,
in the situation between the Palestinians and the Israelis. But she felt so trapped and that she couldn't get a visa to get out.
Right.
I mean, like logistically, it could not happen for her to get out. And so she was completely limited in the choices and the options available to her. And she said to me, I feel like I'm being punished in this lifetime. I have so many dreams, so many things that I want to do, and I can't do it. And I realized that in every way in my life as an American woman, that I am logistically free.
Right.
Anything that I dream, anything that I want to create, I can do. And I have all the resources available and the freedom to do it. And then I realized that the only place where I was trapped was in my mind. Like the only place where I was being held back from getting out there and giving and creating in the world was in my own head.
Right.
And it feels so real. It feels so oppressive and intense, and it was just the most incredible shackles. And I realized in that moment that I had this dawning sense of clarity in those moments of just pristine seeing in your life. It was like, oh my God, my work is to free my mind so that I can give in the ways that I want to give. And that's when I really began to go even deeper into a lot of this inquiry work that I've mentioned. I really got into the work of Byron Katie to support my mind so that my mind could relax out of the stress so that my creative mind could be free.
Right.
And that's when I got really deep into my spiritual practice, especially revolving around Tantra, and becoming prone to understanding how anything that we think is is something that we don't want in our experience, a sensation, a feeling, that there's an opportunity to become intimate with it at any moment. And in that intimacy, in that being a yes to it, there's an opening, there's the freedom, there's yourself.
Right.
And so that's when I knew my life just took on a momentum of just supporting my own freedom in that regard. And they're the very same practices that I have kind of tweaked and changed a little bit, centered for women who are wanting to get their voice out there and speak, but it's all rooted in the very core of the same work. So that is what I would say to every woman who is living in our culture, that anything that you want to do, anything that you dream, you can do. You are completely free. And the only place where you may not see that is only where you think it.
Right.
And there's freedom for that.
That's so powerful. So we literally basically just have to get out of our own way.
Completely. And it is an intense process,
Yeah.
getting out of our own way. But it's there, and there's support, and there's resources, and freedom is possible. I mean, I have been in the darkest of self-doubt and shame and longing to share my creativity, my wisdom, and this beauty that I feel inside. I have been so intensely suffering and trapped around it. And I am in a completely different place in my life. And so it is absolutely possible. Freedom is here and available.